Louis XIV, the Sun King of France. Louis XIV, known to history as the Sun King, was born on September 5, 1638, in Saint-Germain-en-Laye, France. His birth was seen as a miracle after years of royal infertility, and from the very beginning, Louis was treated as a symbol of divine favor. He became king at just 4 years old, inheriting a fragile France torn by internal unrest, noble rebellions, and economic instability. Too young to rule, Louis initially reigned under the guidance of his mother, Anne of Austria, and her chief minister, Cardinal Mazarin. Louis's childhood was deeply shaped by chaos and fear. During the Fronde civil wars, rebellious nobles and angry mobs threatened royal authority, even invading the palace. Young Louis was forced to flee Paris multiple times, leaving him with a lifelong distrust of the nobility and a determination to never allow such humiliation again. These early experiences forged his belief that absolute authority was the only way to maintain order and stability in France. When Cardinal Mazarin died in 1661, many expected Louis to appoint a new prime minister. Instead, he shocked the court and Europe by announcing that he would rule alone. This moment marked the beginning of absolute monarchy in its purest form. Louis centralized power around himself, famously declaring that the state and the king were inseparable. He carefully controlled government, finances, the military, and the church, ensuring that no rival authority could challenge his rule. One of Louis XIV's most brilliant political strategies was the construction of the Palace of Versailles. What began as a hunting lodge was transformed into the most magnificent royal palace in Europe. By forcing the nobility to live at Versailles, Louis kept them distracted with court rituals, luxury, and competition for royal favor, effectively neutralizing their political power. Versailles became both a symbol of French greatness and a golden cage for the aristocracy. Louis XIV believed deeply in the concept of divine right, the idea that kings were chosen by God and accountable only to him. This belief justified his absolute authority and shaped every aspect of his reign. He presented himself as the Sun King, the center of the universe around which all France revolved. Art, architecture, music, and literature were all used as tools of royal propaganda, glorifying the king and reinforcing his image as a semi-divine ruler. Militarily, Louis XIV sought to expand France's borders and dominate Europe. His reign was marked by numerous wars, including the War of Devolution, the Franco-Dutch War, and the War of the Spanish Succession. Under skilled generals, France became the most powerful army in Europe. However, these constant wars drained the treasury, caused massive loss of life, and placed enormous strain on the French population. Domestically, Louis pursued religious unity with ruthless determination. In 1685, he revoked the Edict of Nantes, stripping French Protestants, known as Huguenots, of their rights. Thousands fled France, taking with them valuable skills and economic talent. While Louis believed this decision strengthened national unity, it weakened France economically and increased resentment against his rule. Despite his flaws, Louis XIV presided over a golden age of French culture. His reign saw the rise of legendary figures such as Molière, Racine, Lully, and Lebrun. French language, fashion, and etiquette became the standard for European courts. France emerged as the cultural heart of Europe, and the influence of Louis's court spread far beyond its borders. As Louis XIV aged, tragedy followed him. He outlived his son, his grandsons, and nearly all his heirs. Endless wars left France exhausted, deeply in debt, and suffering from famine. The once glorious Sun King grew old in a nation burdened by taxes and hardship. His final years were marked by reflection, loss, and the awareness that his absolute power came at a heavy cost. Louis XIV died on September 1st, 1715, after ruling France for 72 years, the longest reign of any major European monarch. On his deathbed, he reportedly warned his successor not to follow his example of constant warfare. Though his reign left France powerful and culturally dominant, it also planted the seeds of future revolution. Louis XIV remains one of history's most complex rulers. He embodied both the brilliance and danger of absolute power. The Sun King elevated France to unmatched heights of glory. Yet his legacy also serves as a warning of how unchecked authority can lead to suffering. His life is not just the story of a king, but a lesson in power, ambition, and the price of control.